Alright, so this is Cold War Tower battle number 189. It's got dampening, it's got dark magic, and netherrealmers are safe, so that means that Dark Raiden won't regenerate during the battle. I'm going to talk a little bit about what I was thinking before the battle started, and then show my battle, and provide some commentary, so that you guys kind of have an idea what I was thinking as I was going through this. Alright, so our basic strategy here is going to be using Dark Raiden's basic attacks to kill Noob and Terminator. So Dark Raiden can chain his basic attacks indefinitely when he's in the corner on the right hand side, as long as there's nothing interrupting his chain. So if you want to know a little more about how to do that, I made a video on that. But you can also just watch this. It's pretty straightforward once you see how it's done. The only thing is you have to keep in mind that you won't be able to do that to Cabal because he has the missile gap epic piece, and that will interrupt your chain at some point, so you can have a secondary character to help kill him. And the last thing to keep in mind is that you should have Quan Chi to resurrect Dark Raiden, just in case he dies, because this whole strategy is kind of centered around having him there. So that's the basic plan. Alright, so some things to keep in mind as you go into the battle. Noob and Cabal, for their special 2 attacks, they both have a grapple. So you really have to, make sure you're aware whenever they have 2 bars of power. Cabal has stun on his tag-in. To kind of resist that, I used the Gladiator Mask on Dark Raiden, and I used the Hawk Stance in the talent tree. Another thing to keep in mind that I didn't write here is that Cabal, if you look in his passive, since he is MK11 Cabal, he will tag in and try to perform a fatal blow as soon as Noob is killed. So you really have to, watch out for that whenever you kill Noob. Cabal has Missile Gap, the epic piece, so indefinite chaining isn't going to work on him. Just keep that in mind. At some point, a missile will interrupt your chain. Terminator resurrects. You can use Death Mark so that he doesn't do that, but it's not that important if you're just chaining basic attacks, because the moment he resurrects, you should be able to just start another chain, so it's up to you whether you want to have Death Mark or not. Everyone has tag-in attacks, so you have to be careful because of that, but you also have to keep in mind that if they have power and they use tag-in attacks, then they can use a tag-in attack and immediately use a special, and that's especially dangerous when you consider that Noob and Cabal both have grapple for their special 2 attacks. So when they tag in, they can basically just attack you and then kill you, so you really have to be careful about the tag-in attacks, especially when the characters tagging in have power. So my equipment wasn't really that complicated. I just needed a block breaker for Dark Raiden, and like I said, the Gladiator Mask, to prevent the stun, and then Survivor Memories. It just gives a little extra basic attack damage. So that was all I used for him. For everyone else, I just used, just any generic block breaker is fine. So my talents, well, I had to have precision, obviously, because I'm trying to chain basic attacks, and you need to have a combo ender at the end of every basic attack chain in order to keep the chain going. So precision has to be maxed. Hawk Stance I maxed because I wanted debuff resistance so I wouldn't get stunned. Revenant I maxed because I did not want my Dark Raiden to die. And like I said before, I had Death Mark, but, not that big of a deal. Alright, so let's take a look at my battle now. Obviously the first thing I'm going to be trying to do is to get Terminator in the corner so I can start chaining my basic attacks. So let's see how it goes. So as you can see, before I could get Terminator in the corner, the AI swapped Terminator out for Noob, and this is usually what happens. You can't get the first character, the starting character, in the corner. The AI will always swap another character in before you do that. So you just have to be ready for when this happens. Now, I got Noob, but it could have been Cabal, and if it was, then it's hard to be ready for when it happens, so you know, it would have been very important for me to have stun resistance, and that's one of the reasons why I chose to have Hawk's Dance and the Gladiator Mask, so just keep that in mind. So you should have just noticed that Cabal has 2 bars of power now. Chaining basic attacks is pretty repetitive, so you should be able to keep track of these things while you're doing it. As Noob is about to die, you could kill him with a special attack and probably be safe here, but as a general principle, I always try to kill those characters that I'm chaining basic attacks on with a combo ender, because you recover faster from the combo ender, and depending on the tagging attack or whatever that could be coming, it's much better to recover quickly from a combo ender than to risk it with a special attack. So I was a bit worried here because I knew that I was snared and a missile was going to come and stop my chaining, as you just saw. But thankfully, Terminator came in right after, and I was able to continue chaining without exposing myself to damage from Cabal, or Terminator really, because Terminator's kind of slow. So I'm going to kill Terminator, and Cabal is going to be coming in with 2 bars of power. So what I don't want to be doing is blocking right after I kill Terminator, and then as soon as I block, Cabal does this grapple on me and kills my Raiden. So I'm going to be timing this so that I use the combo ender on Terminator, then swap out Dark Raiden for Quan Chi, and then eliminate the specials by crippling him, and then bring back my Dark Raiden to finish him with a X-ray attack.
I am lightning and thunder. Outstanding.
So that was battle 189 with a lot of explanation. Hopefully it was helpful and not too boring. Thanks for watching.